I was with you before the beginning of time, and the first spark of light. My dear child, I am the eternal Creator, your Father, the source from when soul originates and returns. I don't live in some remote corner of the universe and observe from a distance. 11:11 No, I live within you, closer than your own breath steady, or than your heartbeat. I am the sound of life itself, the whisper in the stillness, the brightness in the shadows. Since I am the one who created you and called you into being, I am able to see through every hardship you encounter. In every, my kid, you are not alone yourselves. Remember that I am here for you, even at the times when it seems like the world is pressing down on you and the darkness are getting closer. I always will be, and I always have been. It is me who understands the depth of your suffering and the peaks of your happiness. I am not unfamiliar with your road, nor its ups and downs. You may have a difficult journey ahead of you, but every step is directed by me. Since I am the one who created your destiny, I am the wealth from which you draw strength. When you feel too weak to continue, you are refined by the flames of your difficulties. Therefore they are not in vain. Though I know that despite the difficulties you develop, learn and become closer to the core of who you were always intended to be. I do not want you to suffer, my child. Type 11:11. If you trust in God's timing and plan for you, every hurt you feel is a teaching opportunity rather than a punishment. And every depressing moment is not a sin, but rather a chance for improvement. Have faith in this process, despite how unpleasant it may appear. Hit times 222. Remind yourself that I am here to guide and shape you, just as a potter shapes clay into something useful and beautiful. When you're feeling scared or uncertain, when there are more questions than answers in your head, go within to where I live. It is the voice that, when all you want to do is turn around, compels you to keep going. It is the optimism that shines through when despair attempts to set in. I communicate with you not just via signals or words, but also via the soft murmurs in your spirit. I am the quiet, little voice that talks in your heart. I am not the thunder or the storm. I adore you more than the depth of the ocean and the heights of the sky. You could never do anything to make me love you less, or say anything to make me stop loving you. I don't love you for your accomplishments, sir, for the flawless way you've lived, for the very fact that you are mine. I adore you. Since the beginning of time, I have referred to you by name, because you are my creation and my child. As I am, so too is this love I have for you conditional or transient. It is everlasting and constant. To support our efforts and sharing Jesus' wisdom, please consider giving us super thanks. Your contribution keeps our channel alive and growing. Type 222. If you are ready for God to work miracles in your life, where you see only imperfections and failures in yourself, I see a spirit that is expanding, changing, and learning to be more, even when it is concealed by the weight of the demands of the outside world. I can see the light that shines inside you. 333. You are not the whole of your errors or the extent of your flaws. You are far more than that. You are a living piece of my heart and a part of my heavenly design. Every action you take, every decision you make, is evidence of the bravery and strength I have given you. I thread that journey with you. So don't be scared of what's ahead or the unknown. I illuminate the path at every uncertain time and every stride into the dark. Even though there may be moments when you can't see me and feel lost, you're abandoned, remember that I have always been by your side. I am the anchor that keeps you stable throughout the storm. I am the constant in the world that is changing. I am working in your life, transforming the darkest nights into the lightest of days. Even when you are unable to sense my presence, the difficulties you encounter in the mountains you must climb are meant to string the new, not to shatter you, but to mold you into the person I know you can be. I did not put these barriers in your way to cause you to fall, but rather to enable you to get back up. With each challenge you conquer, you get closer to the masterpiece I had in mind when I made you. Even if you can't understand the reason right now, have faith that every adversity has a lesson to teach. In a purpose, with a small super thanks, you can help us grow our community of believers and spread the message of Jesus Father. Type 333. If you are ready to walk in God's light, I am holding you into a reflection of my light and a conduit of my love via this experiences. My darling, never forget that you are never really alone. I'm here for you, even when everyone else gives up and the world looks harsh and uncaring. I have shared in every moment of this trip with you. Experience in every happiness and sadness you have experienced. For 144, I am the body who never passes judgment, and the friend who never departs. When you're broken, I'm here to hug you, pick you up when you fall, and lead the way when you get lost. My darling, you are my creation, and I promise never to let you go. Have faith in me, even in the dark and murky times ahead. I am your Father, your guardian, and your source of unfathomable love. Life's hardships shouldn't scare you, since my love for you never fades, and they are just momentary. Every adversity contains a glimmer of hope and the prospect of deliverance. Your circumstances and the struggles you endure do not define you. Rather, it is the Spirit that rises inside you, and I am that Spirit. My kid, it is light-filled, unbreakable, and immortal. Please give me all of your anxiety. In certain days and concerns, place them at my feet, and trust that I will take care of them. These are not your problems to carry alone. I am the pleasure in your grief, the calm in your chaos, and the strength in your weakness. You give me permission to do wonders in your life when you let go of the things you cannot control Have faith that I am with you, that I am aware of your suffering, and that I am already at work to transform your sorrow into hope and your tears into joy. Know this, my little child, you are treasure and adored beyond comprehension. To affirm your trust in God, type for 140 for and like this video. You are either an error or a coincidental event in the cosmos. You are my delight, my joy, and the object of my intentional creation. You cannot find the meaning of the plan I have for you. Know that you are valuable to me, despite what the outside world may say. In your own inner doubts, you are super. Thanks helps us share life-changing insights from Jesus. Every contribution helps us inspire more lives. 555. You are my child, and I promise to be by your side, always loving you, guiding you, and keeping you near to my heart. I see the doubts clouding your thoughts, and the pain weighing so heavily on your soul. My dear child, I am aware of the difficulties you encounter and the feelings of uncertainty you experience. When everything seems too much to handle, I recognize the fatigue that has cropped into your soul, the weariness that comes from fighting invisible and unheard battles. However, I am always here, independable even during your darkest towers. I am the hope that never wins, and the light that never goes out. I am waiting for you to hear me. I have a message for you, my child, one that is full of hope, renewal, and unwavering love. Pay close attention. Turn your heart toward me. When everything around you appears hopeless and despair whispers that there is no way out, give up the sounds, the diversions, and the worries that I am stirring you in a cycle. Allow my words to penetrate your soul as deeply as the first rays of dawn, dosing off after the longest night. Know that the darkness is not the end, but the beginning of a new day, a fresh opportunity to rise anew. Type 555. If you feel God's presence in your life, the thoughts that bother your mind are simply shadows, illusions that dissipate in the light of my truth. You are stronger than you believe, braver than you feel, and more confident than you know. 666. I have implanted within you resilience that can resist any storm, a spirit that can rise even when it has been laid low. This road you are honest, not supposed to be simple, but it is designed to mold you into the person I know you can become. Trust in the process, trust in the progress, and most of all, believe in me because I am with you always. You may believe that you are damaged, that your errors define who you are, but I look past the imperfections. I see the beauty in your battle, the strength in your determination, the love that still remains in your heart. Even when you feel unwanted, every tear you cry, every wound that scars your soul, I have them in my palms. They are not forgotten, nor squandered, for rich terrorists like a seed that will one day bloom into something lovely. Out of your anguish will emerge a strength. Out of your sadness will come a pleasure that nothing in this world can take away. My darling child, Your exhaustion is not a sign of weakness, but a statement of how much you have given of yourself. I know that sometimes you feel like you cannot go on. That's the weight of this life for too great to bear. But I want you to depend on me, to let me shoulder the weight that has become too great. For you, type 666. If you are ready to receive God's peace today, you were not supposed to handle everything by yourself. I'm here to be your pillar of support when you're hurting, your sails when you're weak, and your beacon of hope when you feel hopeless. 777. Let my serenity solve your troubled heart, and let my love uplift you. You are about to experience a rebirth and rejuvenation that starts the instant you turn to face me with an open heart. It comes from the power of surrender, not from your own mind. You create space for me to perform miracles in your life when you let go of the things you cannot control, and when you lose in your hold on fear and uncertainty. I just want you to be willing. I'm not expecting you to be flawless, able to put your faith in the idea that you are capable of more than what you now perceive, being open to dreaming, hoping, and living anew. I am offering you a renewal. That is a profound shift that goes right to the center of who you are, not just a passing promise. It's the type of transformation that gives life, too long for garden fantasy, and illuminates areas you had assumed would always be dark. It is the rebirth of your soul, your spirit, and the recovery of all that once seemed gone. The tired find rest, the last find their path, and the shattered parts of your heart are made whole. In my presence, my pledge to you is that, regardless of how far you stray, I will always be at your side. If you believe in miracles, type 777 and forward this video to 7 people who need faith. I have a future for you. Don't allow the weight of your previous transgressions stop you from it long before you ever considered asking. I have extended my forgiveness to you. 888. My affection for us based on who you are to me, my lovely child, not on what you have done or haven't done. Give up the regrets that haunt you, the shame that keeps you hidden, and the guilt that holds you. Enter the brightness of my grace, where acceptance and love rule, and there is no room for judgment. You are deserving because you are mine, not because of what you have done. You see, my darling, nothing you have done will ever make you feel any less loved by me. Number transgression is too big, no mistake too serious, and no wound is too open for my healing touch to reach. I am the all-renewing God, the God of second chances. I am the lifter of your head, the healer of hearts, and the giver of hope. Keep in mind that you are everything to me, even when the outside world tells you that you are not enough. For that, you will never be enough. You are my delight, my creation, and my affection. I am for you to let hope, which enters even in the most dire circumstances, and the prospect of fresh starts, into your heart. I'm not asking you to act like nothing is wrong, or to disregard your grief. I'm virgin, you, to trust that there is purpose and hope for happiness, even in the midst of your suffering. Type 888. If you believe God is working in your life right now, my kid, cling to that hope. It's the anchor that will hold you stable during the storm. It is the strength that will sustain you when you are unable to support yourself, and the light that will lead you through the darkness. 999. The trip you are on, my darling, is about the change that takes place en route. It's not simply about getting to the end. It's about being more of the person I made you to be, more of who you are intended to be. Your experiences and triumphs over obstacles have shaped and polished you. Just wait, gold is refined by fire. Fear not the procedure, because I will accompany you at every turn, through every challenge and to every victory. I am the God who transforms devastation into hope, grieving into dance, and ashes into beauty. So, my kid, resist the urge to bend down to the weight of the world, and continue to stand upright. Remain steadfast in the understanding that you are loved more than you can imagine, that you are not alone, and that you are stronger than you realize. Even if my love for you is stronger than any doubts or anxieties, they still cannot prevail. Let today be the day you start again, the day you let go of the past and embrace the future. I am your strength, your hope, and your everlasting regeneration, because I am with you now and forever, holding you close and speaking to your soul. I am aware that you have not had an easy trip, my little kid. I see that life's hardships have left their imprint on your spirit, and that your experiences have caused you to lose a great deal of faith. Type 999. If you trust God's guidance in your life, you have been put to the test in ways you never would have predicted by the trials and tribulations you have faced. And I am aware that it could have looked as if I was mutual, knowing I existed at those utterly hopeless times when the night seemed to go on forever. 1010. But even in the moments when you couldn't see or hear me, my kid, I was always there. Sometimes you feel like everything in the world is pressing down on you so much that it's difficult to believe in anything at all. It's easy to mistrust what you once held dear. When sadness consumes your heart and uncertainty permits your thoughts, that's a sensation I understand, kid. I've seen the cheers that fall in the pitch-black darkness, the police that go unheard, and the prayers that seem to resound in vain. You start to doubt if I am really there, whether I hear you and whether I care at such times. Let me tell you the truth. Though I have never abandoned you, I was there, even amid the quiet. I was hugging you tighter than ever, even though it seemed like I had abandoned you. Sometimes my silence is not a sign of abandonment. Rather, it's a place where you may develop. Go deep within and find the power I have given you. The best lessons are sometimes learned in the stillness of faith. when you learn to believe even in the face of doubt, and not in the cacophony of answers, I can see why life's hardships have caused you to question my existence, and why your trust has faltered. To claim your blessings, type 1010 and like this video if you believe. It is difficult to believe in love when all you can sense is suffering, and to trust in that which you cannot see. I see the wounds that life has left on your spirit, the wounds that are still open. I see the moments you've stretched out and felt nothing but emptiness, the times you've prayed and received no response. 1111. And I get it. However, my dear, faith is the bravery to persevere through times when uncertainty threatens to destroy you, not the absence of doubt. Your trust is like a seed that pushes through the toughest soil to reach light, or like a flickering flame that has withstood the harshest winds. It may seem little and feeble, but it is still there blazing inside you. Your faith is planted in me, and the strength of its roots counts more than the size of your faith. It stayed alive, very deep inside your heart, waiting for the time when you will need it most. Even when you believed it had died and disappeared. You see, my darling, faith is about more than simply hanging on when things seem to be going well. It's about believing when things are not going well. It is the strength at your most vulnerable times, the light in the dark and the hope in the despair. It is the peaceful reassurance that I am still here, no matter how far the trip is, or how black the night becomes. Even when you turn away and thought you could no longer believe, I never cease loving you and lighting you. My quiet was never an indication that I was gone, but rather a place where you could develop, learn, and realize the strength inside you. Type 1111. If you know God's love is endless, it was an opportunity for you to realize that you're never really alone, even in your darkest moments. When you were most alone, I was there in the calm, talking to your soul and pointing you in the direction of the light. 1112. I was the hope that persisted when all else appeared gone, the strength that carried you when you felt you had nothing left. My kid, faith is a journey, not a destination. It is not something you lose permanently. Rather, it changes and develops with you, much like the seasons of your life. It is okay that there will be times when your faith is weakened, moments when it is strong. I just ask that you cling on and have confidence in me, even in the face of blindness. I do not expect you to have flawless faith, because I am here for you, not just when you are certain, but also when you are doubting yourself and feeling the most alone. I have seen the crucible that life has thrown at you, the ordeals that have tried your very foundation. I am aware of the weight of your unanswered questions and the terror that has consumed you. But know this, I am the God who draws light from the darkest places, who changes suffering into purpose, and who converts tribulations into victories. Every tear, scar, and wound has a reason, and that purpose is not to break you, but to strengthen you and help you get closer to the real you. Type 1212 if you are ready to welcome God's blessings today. My kid, faith that perseveres is the kind that rises above uncertainty, rather than the one that never wavers. It is the trust that, despite the distance between us, clings to the promise of my love. 1313. It is the faith that has confidence in my plan, even in the face of its obscurity. You have a little of my holy energy inside you, which makes you stronger and more resilient than you realize. Furthermore, such spirit is unbreakable, uncomfortable, and unlost. To not be scared to come back to me, to let trust once again enter your heart. I'm not upset by your insert and teaser, disheartened by your difficulties. With arms wide open, I am prepared to welcome you, heal you, and help you rediscover the faith you once believed to be gone. Since you are my kid, you have my undying affection. I'm always here to help you up, to leave you home, and to reassure you that you are never really alone. No matter how far you've traveled, or how many times you've fallen, as this chapter of your journey comes to an end, my darling child, know that a fresh beginning is just around the corner. Although life's hardships have put you to the test, they haven't broken you. Despite being shattered, your trust endures because it is based on the reality of my love for you. Give up the worries and concerns that prevent you from moving forward and keeping you in the dark. Enter the brightness of my grace, the assurance of my presence, and the unwavering love of mine. Because I am your Father, your mentor, and your unfailing hope, I am with you always and forever. You will discover enduring faith, unfailing love, and the ability to get back up again in me. Type 1313. If you trust God to guide your path, let the words of God inspire you daily. Subscribe and click the bell for continuous blessings.